All right, so we've got a two-part question here. The first part is that we're going to look at the amount of interest that someone has earned after a certain amount of time, nothing that we haven't done before. Then in the second part, we're actually going to look at the tax that this person has to pay on that certain amount, which is reliant upon which income range they fit into. So first of all, let's look at the sort of meat of what we've got here. Cam is investing $2,000 into a holiday savings account. The account pays 4.5% interest, which is compounded monthly. He's going to also pay an extra $100 per week into the account. Now, this is a question where we've got a different compounding period compared to the payment period. So it's really important that we look at the PY and CY carefully. So compounding monthly, I'm going to put 12 there. We know that he's paying $100 per week. So his payment is weekly. So he's doing 52 of those. And he's going to pay in $100. Remember, when we pay it to the bank or the institution, it is negative. When we are taking it out, it would be positive. He said he's starting off with $2,000. That's our PV. We've got an interest rate of 4.5. And then we know that it's only after 1 year that we're interested in. So one, and also very important, it is times by the PY. So we've got 52, remembering that it is years times by PY. If that's not in a formula sheet, please make sure that one is. Again, we're trying to find the FV, so we're trying to find out how much he's got in there by the end of the year. And then we can put in those values. So 52 for the N, 4.5 for the interest. He's starting off with $2,000, so he's given that to the bank. He's also doing $100 per week. So we have negative 152. And we have got also 12 in our compounds because it is compounding monthly. So what we'll find is that our future value is $7,408.13. That's all well and good. So we know how much he's got in the account after a year. What we do need to know though is how much interest is in that value there. You might remember that the future value is equal to what we started off with plus any payments that we made and how many times we made them. So I'll just put that in brackets to really emphasize that. And it's also going to include the interest earned. So the amount of interest there. So what we need to do here is we're kind of going to rearrange that equation. So we just want to know the interest earned. So we're going to make that the subject of the equation. If you're not super confident with rearranging, make sure that this kind of thing is written in your formula sheet. So interest earned is equal to the future value. So that big number there, 7,000. Take away whatever he started off with, and we're also taking away all of the payments that he made. So we're basically left with the amount that the bank or the investment has generated. So we've got interest earned equals $7,408.13. We're taking away 2,000, and we're also taking away $100 52 times. What that's going to give us is our final amount of money. So if we plug that into a calculator, we can see that we end up with $208.13. That $208.13 is the amount of interest he earned. Now he's only had it in there for a year, so that is a fair assumption. So we can say that that's a reasonable amount. What we need to do now is part B. So we need to think about, first of all, which tax bracket is Cam in? He's earning $68,000 a year. So any extra income that he earns is going to be taxed at the rate of 32.5%. So what we need to do here is we need to multiply his interest, because that's all he's going to get extra tax on. We need to multiply that by either 32.5 over 100, because that's like a percentage as a decimal. Or you could, if you're confident with moving the decimal across, you could say 0.325. If we plug that in, what we've got here is 0.325. He's paying 67.64 on that investment. The question is not asking his after-tax sort of takeaway, but if we needed to do that, we would say $208.13, take away 67.64, which is going to give us $140.49. Again, it's usually, well, it's pretty much expected that you'll answer this with a sentence. So I'm just going to write that up here because I've run out of space. So Cam pays $67.64 tax on his interest earned.